going on, folks, and welcome to Scum. I hope we're all doing well. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you the very basics of how to survive out there in the open world. Now, it is very subjective. There are reasons why I'm going to show you how to do certain things, and like I said, it's the very basics of how to survive, where to go, where not to necessarily go, and to just try and keep you alive that little bit longer, and hopefully you guys get a better understanding of what to do when you're dropped first thing on the map. Hopefully, this video will help. Let's get to it. So, once you've been dropped into the open world, this is exactly what you guys are going to look like. Now, the first thing I would recommend doing before anything is pressing tab. This is your inventory system. Right now, obviously, you can see some of the clothes you have here. And if we go to the crafting menu, do not be overwhelmed by this, guys. It gets very easy to understand how all this is. So, right now, obviously, most things are going to be checked off because you don't have the supplies to make them. Now, if you were to click on any of these items, if you look on the left-hand side of the screen, it will tell you what you need to craft it. So, I'm going to show you the very basics. Now, you can do two things like any open-world survival game. You can just go and find the loot, which we'll get onto later on. Or we can start to craft the very basics to give you a head start, so to speak, with what you're doing and to hopefully help you guys survive. So, the first thing we want to do is find an item to cut. So, what we want to do is just look at the floor, and you can find this all over the map in many places. You can keep searching. So what you want to do is keep hitting F till you find a small stone, and just walk forward again a little bit more, and just keep hitting F until you find another small stone. There we go. So now we've got two small stones. We go back into our inventory. We go up to the crafting, and there you go. If you look at the top right-hand corner, you can see that the stone knife has a grayed out background, which means you can now craft that because you've got the items. So right now we could craft a small stone axe head, which we'll get to after, or we can go straight for the stone knife. Now, stone knife is recommended straight away, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. So it does take a few seconds for it to craft, and what we do is once it's crafted, we go back into our inventory, drag that stone knife into your hands. So you've now got that stone knife, and if you really want, you can throw it, or you can just keep it on your inventory. So what we're going to do is we're now going to craft ourselves an axe, because the problem is with the stone knife that we've just made, and you can find other knives around the map and scissors and stuff like that that would really help out later on, but for now this is the very basics. So what we want to do is we want to walk up to the bush and just press F. We want to cut it down. So, as you can see, we've got a load of sticks. If you want to see exactly what we have, just go back into inventory. And that's what we've just cut down there. So we've cut down some small wooden sticks, a long stick, and some very small logs as well. Now, if we go back into the crafting menu, what we want to do now is we want to craft an axe. Because what an axe will do will last a lot longer, and you can keep it on you for much more time. So, if we look at the stone axe, which you can see on the left-hand side, we need some rope, we need two sticks, and we need a small stone axe head. So what we do, let's start off with the rope first. So what we need is, if you go down, you can see here that there's the rope. So we've got the stone knife, and we need 5 small sticks. So how many do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3. So we've got long sticks here. So what we do is we cut the long sticks up to create smaller sticks. Always takes a few seconds to do. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you go into the crafting menu, you can see that the tree bark rope is now grayed out. There we go. So let's craft some rope. And if we go back into our inventory system, just take that rope and put it into your hands there. And also, if you've got a spare long wooden stick, put it into your inventory. And you can put it on your back because you've got holsters 1 and 2. So you've got that 1, 2, and obviously you can put it into your hands as well, just like that. For now, we're going to put it on our back. So we just press escape. Now what we need to do is we need to find another 2 rocks, which we might have just found here. There we go. There's 2 on the floor. Go back to the crafting menu and click on small stone axe head. And there are different ways you can use these items as well. You can craft different items using various items in the game. We can't actually... Right, we're going to actually put that in our hands because we're going to have to carry this. So what we do is we go up to this bush, and then we cut this one down. And this is going to help defend, or to fend off rather, puppets, which you can see over there, like zombie people. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the crafting menu. Now you can see that we've got the small stone axe, and it's greyed out, which means we can use it. So we've got the rope. We have 2 long sticks because I've got one on my back, and there's one on the floor as well. And we have the small stone axe head. So what we do is go to the crafting, click on the stone axe, and craft. So once that's done, you don't need the stone knife anymore. In fact, that's that's still in the inventory there, and you can see the percentage at the bottom as well. Even at the bottom of the stone axe as well, you can see it says 100% on here and 60% on there. That's how long it uses for. So its durability rather. Yeah, that's what it is. Pardon me for saying it. So that's the durability. So now we've got a stone axe. So this is going to last a lot longer. With the axe, you can actually go and cut a tree down as well. So you can do many things here. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to very quickly, we're going to cut this bush down with our new axe. And we're going to create a weapon. So it's a very basic weapon. Tab for inventory again. We've got 2 long wooden sticks going to crafting. And if you look here on the right, under tools and weapons, you can see the improvised wooden spear. So what we're going to do is we're going to craft 2 spears. You can make 3 if you like, but we're going to stick to making 2 for the moment, because I want to show you how to craft just a couple of other things before we go and attack a puppet. So there we go. There's 1 spear, sharpened, obviously with the tool that we've just made. And there we go. There's 2 spears there. Now you can make the bows as well, but what I'm going to show you guys first is how to make a bag. So what we want to do is make a bag before anything else. So we've got the stone axe on us still. So what we want to do is we want to go and find another bush. These bushes are really going to help you out at the very beginning. As you can see, there's a puppet there already. So I want to try and stay away from him until I've shown you how to make the bag. So let's just quickly run up here. And there's a bush over here. So let's go and cut this down. Plus, when you have a stone axe compared to the stone knife, you get more sticks out of the bush. So you can see there we've got 4. We need to make some rope, so we're going to cut it up into small sticks. And we're going to craft ourselves some rope here. And this is going to help us make the improvised courier backpack, which you guys can see right there. So I'm going to click on the backpack there. So we need rope and we need 3 rags. That's all we need, and something to cut with. Now we already got that. Let's just double check that. Right, so we need 3 rags now. Nice and easy. This is where you start to cut up your clothes. But guys, you're going to be gearing up with some pretty decent clothes very shortly. So what you want to do is you want to cut your shirt into regs. So right click and cut into regs. Right, we've got 2 there. Let's drop, actually we don't need to do that. Let's just keep the pants on for the moment. So let's go to our underpants. Let's cut them into regs. Hopefully we'll get 1 more out of that. Possibly 2. So we've got 4 regs. We've got a piece of rope and we have a stone axe. So if we go to the crafting menu, you can now see the improvised courier backpack is highlighted. So what we do is we craft that. It does take a little bit longer to craft the backpack because, I mean, you can imagine the small improvised or the improvised backpack will take a lot longer. You'll definitely need more supplies for that. But for this one, you just need the rags, something to cut it with, and some tree bark rope. Now you can make rope out of rags as well, which is over here on the menu somewhere. Improvised rope. That's what you'd use if you were using to make rope out of rags, but you can find different types of wire and rope on the game as well. So what you do, there's your improvised courier backpack, right click and equip. Nice and simple. Don't forget to take your stone axe as well, because that will drop on the floor. And there's a nice bandage there and some rag strips just in case we get injured. So I could go into detail on many of the things there. We've made the spear. In fact, what I'm actually going to do now, very quickly, just before we do that, I'm going to show you guys how to make a bow. Because we've now got a bag to put arrows in as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a bow now. So I'm going to cut down another bush. And this is all to do with survival, guys, don't forget, and the crafting. So So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up some small sticks because we're going to need some rope for this, because it's going to be part of the bow, obviously. And we also have a long wooden stick there, so we're going to need a long wooden stick to craft the actual bow. So we're crafting some more rope here. And then we're going to craft some arrows. It's very simple, very quick, very effective when you know how. So if we go to the crafting menu under tools and weapons again, you can now see the improvised bows. So I've set my character for high strength, so I'm going to go with a 35-pound bow. And as you can see, when you click on it and craft it on the left hand side, it highlights what you're using to make that. So you guys can take notes if you wish, but it's already on here. So what we do now is you put the improvised bow in our hands, nice and simple. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that one stick with us, and I'll show you guys why in a second. So what we do now is we go over here, try and find another bush, because obviously we use our resources. We run out of sticks. So there's a bush here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make some arrows. So right now we've got spears, we've got arrows, and we have a bag and a stone axe, and we haven't even been into town yet. We haven't even been to any loot locations. Now as you progress in the game, you will probably not need to do this, but this will definitely help you out as a fresh spawn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up the long wooden sticks, because you make arrows out of small wooden sticks. So if we cut up the long wooden sticks, it makes it a lot easier for us. And there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. So we've got 9 altogether. So if you go on to the crafting menu again, go to wooden arrow and just click craft. And click craft again. Now you can find different types of arrows all over the land, and you will be able to craft and find them at the same time. So you can have that choice if you want to just craft stuff or if you want to find stuff. But there are ways of mixing certain things. When you go into the advanced survival, which is just click on anything that you want to build, like wooden arrow tipped, stone tipped, and stuff like that, you can make some pretty cool arrows with this sort of stuff. And this is all the base building, which we're not really going to get into now. Base building's a completely different thing at the minute. So let's just keep crafting until we run out of small sticks, because in that way we know that we've run out of resources to craft. So I think that's... No, we've got another one. I think we've got 9 altogether. Okay, so what we do is you just double click the arrows, and they'll automatically bundle up in your inventory there. Now you can find quivers, and you can also craft quivers. So if you look down here in the items menu, you can actually make an improvised quiver, which we can do with 5 long sticks, some rope, and some rags. So all you need to do is do it that way. You can cut up your trousers if you want, because technically we're not even using them right now, so we could actually make an improvised quiver, but we need 5 long sticks to do that. So we need to find a rather large bush to be able to find them resources. So we could try and actually make a quiver right now, just so you guys can see it. In fact, there's 2 big bushes here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these down. And we're going to cut this one too. And in a moment, you're going to find out how to get some decent clothes to start off with. So, right now we've got enough to make some rope. So, with the quiver, you need 5 long sticks, 3 rags, and a piece of rope. So, let's make that rope first. And we've got 1, 2, 3. We have 3 long sticks here. Let's put that rope on us right there. We're going to cut the socks up, because we're going to try and get some more rags. You don't have to cut your socks up. You can cut up your trousers if you wish. Just improvise with what you have. So we've got 3 there. And how many do we need for the quiver? We need to have, for the improvised quiver, 3. Yeah, that's all we need, 3. So all I need to do now is find 2 long sticks and bring them back to this location right here. So what I'm going to do is cut these two down. Or cut this bush here, rather. And hopefully we'll get a couple of long sticks out of it. So, there we go. We've got 2 long sticks. So if I put that in... If I put these 2 in my trousers. And put that there. And we'll carry the long stick. And what we're going to do is we're going to go drop it. So if you hold tab, or if you click on tab, you can see that it shows in the vicinity of what's on the floor around you as well. So as you run into it, you can see it pop up there. Now I'm going to drop the long stick there. Now just so I don't forget where I'm going, I'm just going to sort of go in straight lines. I think it's here actually, isn't it? So we've got another long stick there. And also the other cool thing is that your hair does grow over time as well. I think it's over here. I think it's here. There we go. Right, so we've got the 4 sticks. We've got 5 now together. So let's craft the improvised quiver, which you guys can see there. Nice and quick. That actually made that very fast. So we're going to equip that. Now the improvised quiver can only hold 1 set of 12. Now if you go to the crafting menu again, you can see that the animal skin quiver will give you 2. I think it's 2 anyway it gives you. And when you find the military quiver that is on the map as an item, you'll have 3 slots of 12. So you can fit plenty in there. Right, so we've got a bow. No, we don't. We don't actually have the bow. I think I dropped it when I was cutting over here. So currently, guys, we've got a bow, an improvised quiver, an improvised backpack, and 2 spears to defend ourselves. Now, let's go over to this puppet over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take him down, because on some servers, it's going to be very difficult to do it. If you hit enter on the numeric keypad, you go into first person. I would highly recommend doing this in first person. Now, simply left click and release. Now, I left that very quick, but with experience, I managed to kill him. But obviously, if that was your first time, you may have panicked and you may have ended up dying. But if you click F, it's now going to search the puppet. So if you click tab now, you can see that the puppet drops clothes. So if you was to equip the clothing, equip the boots and equip the gloves, and you can take the thread because that could be handy later. We don't need them. Well, actually, we do still need the shoes. Let's equip the shoes. Or the boots, rather. Let's equip the boots. We'll get rid of the shoes. So, if you press enter on your numeric keypad, and you can already see that you're already beginning to survive. So, literally from making a stone knife, we have managed to get this far, as you can see. An improvised backpack, an improvised quiver, a bow, a spear, and some arrows as well. Not bad going.